Hello everyone, and welcome to this educational presentation of trading with a purpose. Now, if you ask just about any trader, it doesn't matter what market or what time frame or what style of trader there are, I would venture to say that just about 99% of all traders would say they trade with a purpose. Actually, they're trading with some type of idea in mind, what they think is going to happen. But it's been my experience in my over 4 decades of trading that the majority of traders actually do not trade with a purpose. You see, the reason is because a common attitude that a lot of traders have is that of a victim attitude. They love to blame someone when something doesn't work out. And then when something does work out, they take all the credit for it, or they just pat themselves on the back for taking someone else's signal. Now, this is not trading with a purpose. This is basically just kind of flying blind and hoping that someone else and someone else's ideas are going to work. Let me show you exactly what I mean here in terms of that victim attitude I talked about. Here's an older chart of Facebook. Now, this was in midsummer, and we can all see that Facebook was acting very nicely. It had a very nice run up here coming into August, and then we all remember the bad news came out and the stock lost a tremendous amount of its value in one day. Okay? Now, this is where traders would always say, well, Steve, this is where I always, happen to have a fault here. I'm doing well, and then some news comes out, and then it actually hurts me, and I lose everything, and it was that chat room I went to that messed up everything for me. Well, that's not trading with a purpose. In today's presentation, I'm going to share with you an actual trading plan that could have entered and had you entering right here, okay? And even prior to this fallout in the stock, you would have had an opportunity to exit right here with a potential nearly 21-point gain. So that's what trading with a purpose is. And on top of that, I'm going to show you how simple it is to execute this plan by using our new platform, the PTS Primo charting platform. This is the educational portal that teaches you how to trade with a purpose. Everything is one click away. We take all the hard work out of it for you so that you can just simply click on a button, know exactly what's happening, and make your own decisions. So this promises to be a great presentation. Welcome once again. My name is Stephen Primo, President and Founder of Specialist Trading, and I teamed up with Pro Trader Strategies with one goal in mind, and that's simply to educate traders. That's all we want to do. And someone would say, well, what's the purpose of educating a trader? I mean, most traders have an idea of what they want to do. That's true, but most traders fail. I think it's been estimated 80 to 85% of all traders fail. And it's my opinion that the reason is because they're not properly educated. They're basically listening to someone or something tell them what to do. I know this for a fact because this is the way I was taught. When I first started trading some 41 years ago, I was taught to listen to all the trading gurus, to listen to the news, to listen to tons of indicators, and that's what would make me successful. And it didn't work at all. In fact, after my first year of trading, I thought I was going to probably get out of the business entirely. You see, I started my career on the floor of the Pacific Stock Exchange. I was on the floor, luckily, for 16 years, and 9 of those years I was a specialist. That's where you get the name specialist trading. A specialist is not anyone more special than anyone else. It just means that you specialized in making markets. So I made markets in about 60 stocks. I made markets during the crash of '87 in the bull market. So I've traded everything you can think of. If you have a method or something that's new and innovative, some indicator you've never heard of that's supposed to, change the world and how you trade, or some market, indicator, or on top of that, some type of trading system, trust me, I've traded it before. They've just changed the names or repackaged it. I've traded just about every market environment you can think of, straight up, straight down markets. So I've seen and traded everything. In my 41 years, I can shorten your learning curve because I know what works in terms of consistency and I know what doesn't. So I'm here not to waste your time the way I wasted a lot of my time trying to learn these things. I'm here to shorten your learning curve so that you can educate yourself and for the very first time, take control of your own trading destiny. That's our goal at Specialist Trading and Pro Trader Strategies, to put you in the driver's seat and to teach you how to trade with a purpose. And you'll see that today. You'll see the amount of detail and attention we give to teaching you in today's presentation. But before we begin, as always, we are first required by law to show you this, so please take a moment to view our disclaimer. I'm going to show you a lot of performance results using a couple of techniques today that can add to trading with a purpose for you. But please remember that we can in no way guarantee that any of the results I'm about to share with you will be repeated in the future. And also, please remember that all examples are strictly for educational purposes only. So as you're taking a brief moment to view our required disclaimer, once again, as always, I'd like to invite each and every one of you, if you haven't done so already, to follow us on Twitter. Here's our handle right there, abbreviation for specialist trading. Might want to copy that down. I would suggest you copy that down if you haven't done so already. I post a lot of great information on a daily basis, things to educate you, such as daily financial wisdom to signals that our strategies have generated. So lots of great free educational information. Feel free to follow us on Twitter. Now, as I stated in the very opening statements, we are different from other presenters in the fact that our only goal is to teach you. In other words, we are only educators. We don't promise to have a master system that never fails. We don't promise to have a method that's been back-tested 20, 30 years that only lost once in the last 10, 30 years. You know, we don't believe in that. We don't have some master way to read the charts or that is supposed to tell you what the institutions are doing. We don't believe in that either. All we're trying to do is teach you how to trade with a specialist edge. This is the same edge that was taught to me some 4 decades ago that was able to turn my trading around. And hopefully it will be able to do the same thing for you so that you'll be able to trade for the next 30, 40 years as well. So as you see here, my goal is not to force feed you signals. Even though our strategies generate signals and we post them for our members, our goal is simply to teach you so that you can find what signals you want to take. You can enter the way you want to enter. You can exit the way you want to exit and place your stops the way you want to place them. We give you all the different variables in our courses and show you what you can pick and choose from, but then it's up to you to decide how you want to trade. In my opinion, that is the only way one becomes a consistent trader. So you're going to see an example of that today when we talk about trading with a purpose. But since this is an educational classroom here today, I do want to take questions, but we have a good crowd here. If we stop, like so many other presenters do, for every slide, we'll be here for a good couple of hours. I don't want to take all of your day here. So if you happen to have a question, please wait till the end. I promise I'll answer each and every one of them at the very end of class, okay? The only question I will answer is the most common, and that is this being recorded? Yes, it is. So if you are having technical difficulties and you have to leave early, don't worry. I will send you a link to this recording at the very end of the presentation, okay? So please wait. If you happen to join us late, please wait till the end of class for questions. All right. With that said, let's begin class. Now, in order to learn how to trade with a purpose, we almost have to start backwards. We almost have to work in reverse. So in order to know how to trade with a purpose, we have to first learn and discover how not to trade with a purpose. And unfortunately, this is the way, as I stated earlier, the majority of traders trade. They do not trade with a purpose. So someone would say, well, Steve, I do trade with a purpose. Well, let's go back and look at the way you make your decisions. Are you going to a nightly signal service, or do you have a nightly signal service every night? Are you waiting with bated breath for some report, say jobless claims or the earnings reports? Are you going to a blog to find out what they like, or a chat room or a trading room to see what they're buying or selling that day? Okay, if you're doing any of these things, that is not trading with a purpose. And someone would say, well, yes, it is. I go there, I get these ideas, and then I decide what I want to do. But you see, the motivation is to copy or mimic someone else's plan. And that's not a purpose. You're just imitating or copying someone else. That is actually is a recipe for disaster. If you look at it, the entire industry is based off of some master guru's trading style that you're going to copy or get all the rules to, or some fantastic indicator that no one has that you're going to be able to, buy and sell based off of it. And all of that is basically just letting something tell you how to trade. But you're not making your own trading decisions. So you're not taking responsibility. That's what it means to trade with a purpose. You have to take your own responsibility. You have to decide based off of education, things that are consistent, that have stood the test of time. And then you decide how you're going to enter. Not based off what an institution is doing, not based off what master indicator is doing, not based off what some guru is doing, but based off what you think is going to happen after you've educated yourself and studied. That's what trading with a purpose is. So in order to trade with a purpose, you actually need two things. The first thing you need is a consistent trading plan that's based off of market behavior. Now you see here, I didn't say that's based off the news. It's not based off institutions. It's not based off volume. It's not based off of some indicator that you never heard of. No, it's a consistent trading plan based off of what the market is doing, because that's the source. That's what you're trading. So your plan should be based off that. Okay? And you notice here I said consistent. Now I didn't say a 100% foolproof trading plan because there is no such thing. Consistent means a two-step forward, one-step back approach. That one step back means you will have losses. There's nothing wrong with having losses. The thing that is different with a consistent plan is that you're able to recoup those losses rather quickly. That's where you get the two-step forward, one-step back approach. So you need a plan that is consistent, that has not this kind of upwards and downwards kind of roller coaster approach, but has a nice slow, as if you're hitting singles approach to your trading. You're not going for home runs, you're going to hit singles, and you have this nice upward slope on your profit and loss statement, okay? Remember, consistent means that you will have losses. Now, is there a way to filter out some of those losses? Yes, there is. So in order to trade with a purpose, you need the second thing, which is a tool that filters out the bad trades from the good ones, because you can increase your odds for consistency. So you need these two things. Well, guess what? We have both of them. The first is strategy number 4. This is our most consistent trading plan. It generates the most signals out of any other strategy we have. It can be applied and transferred onto any time frame. It can be applied and transferred onto any market. So you don't just have to trade stocks. You can trade Bitcoin, futures, commodities. It makes no difference if it's currency pairs or if it's a tick chart, a weekly bar. This same method can be transferred onto all those markets and time frames. So as you see here, some of the highlights, it's for all traders, okay? Traders looking to catch quick momentum moves. But in the course, we teach you how to stay in the trade longer if you like. It has a very moderate intensity level of number 2. It only uses one indicator, okay? That's how simple it is. It can be applied to any time frame, any direction, in any market. Now, remember, we are an educational company. We teach you everything that's involved in the actual strategy. But we also supply you with automatic buy and sell arrows so that you can check your work. In other words, if you think a signal has been generated, then all you have to do is click on the buy and sell arrows to see if you are right. After a while, you won't even need the buy and sell arrows. You'll know automatically where a setup is, okay? As I said earlier, our edge is consistency. Not every trade is going to be a winner. But what you want to do is have a plan that is consistent, that's able to recoup those losses, and then you want to go to part 2, which is a tool that can add to your consistency. Well, this brings us to the PET D. You've heard me speak about this before. This is another tool I gained from being on the floor some 41 years ago. It is the best thing I know for determining the short-term trend. As we see here in this older Etna chart, we see here that an uptrend was in place. This is the way most traders usually trade. They get in too late, and right when they get in, this usually happens. Once you apply the PET D, we make it simple for you. On our green strategy tab, all you have to do is click on the PET D and the colors automatically change. If you see a series of green bars, you're in an uptrend. A series of red bars, you're in a downtrend. It's that simple. We take all the hard work out of figuring out this formula for you and do it automatically. Now the beauty, as you see here, of the PET D is that it tells you which direction on the short term that you should be trading. And once you know whatever direction you're in, you can confirm if your strategy is in sync with that direction. All right, so let me show you what I mean here. This combination is called the dynamic duo. We have the consistency of strategy 4, and then we have the consistent factor of being able to upgrade our chances for success when we add the dynamic duo PET D tool to confirm whether the signal should be taken or not. As we look here in Facebook, okay, this was the chart we had talked about earlier, remember? Basically, Facebook was in a range. It was doing nothing in the midsummer. But if you remember your studies, which we teach you in the online course, you think that there's a buy setup right here, okay? Because you've taken all the courses, the online courses I teach in our class for Strategy 4, and you say, you know what? This looks like the pattern that Steve says is for a Strategy 4 buy setup, but I'm not sure I'm going in the right direction. So with the platform, we make it easy. You would simply click on strategy number 4. The drop-down menu appears. Click on signal arrows to check your work. And then automatically, you'll see if you were right or not. And guess what? You were right. There's a buy signal. Now, does this guarantee the trade's going to be a winner? No. It has a high level of consistency because it's a strategy number 4 buy setup. But it does not, nothing is 100% foolproof. We don't believe in that. We know there will be losses. So is there a way to increase our odds? Yes, this is where we go to part 2. We add our PET D tool to confirm. Now here's the way it works. You would click on the PET D, and since you have a buy signal, you want to make sure that that bar is colored green. That's it. We don't care what the other bars. If every bar prior to that buy signal was colored red, that would be fine, as long as this bar is green. So once you click on PET D, well, the colors change, and yes, that signal is confirmed. So now you have an added amount of consistency to this setup. Is it guaranteed to be a winner? Absolutely not. But you have a high probability trade. And isn't that what trading's all about? Now, this is not a system. This is a strategy. There are different ways to enter. There are different ways to place your stop. There are different ways to exit. So you're in charge. This is just the benchmark. Remember, we're not selling you some system and telling you how to trade it. In fact, you don't even have to trade this. If you don't feel comfortable, don't take the trade. This is not a systematic method where you have to take each and every trade, regardless of the market environment, regardless of the risk involved. You're in charge of your trading. Remember, our goal is to teach you so that you can be in charge of your own trading destiny for the very first time in your life. That is the only way in my 41 years of trading that I have found how traders become consistent, when they are in charge, when they don't go to chat rooms, when they don't listen with bated breath for every news announcement, when they don't look and see what the institutions or the volume is doing or all the Fibonacci levels. All they're interested in is listening to one thing. That's the market, the chart in front of them. If that's telling them that they think it's going up or down, then they just simply follow suit. So this is a high probability setup. Let's say you had decided to go long, and well, you would have had a very nice trade. But this is where the traders with no purpose come in, and they say, well, Steve, this is not fair though. I would have stuck in, and look at, I would have lost right here. Well, sure, if you would have stayed in, but you would have had to take responsibility because that was your choice. Now, if you had learned just one of our exiting methods, you could have had the chance to actually exit right here for a nearly 21-point gain. I'll show you how to do that in just a few minutes towards the end of the presentation. All right, so let's look at some more dynamic duo examples, okay? Now, these are for educational purposes only. We're not trying to tell you that every trade is going to be a winner. I'm going to share with you some trades that were losses, but you'll see how you could have stayed out of trouble. Some of these are a week or two old. Some of these are months old, but I'll show you towards the end of the presentation some examples that happened just the last couple of days, okay? All right, so let's look at KLAC. Now, someone looking at this would say, well, how can I make a decision on this? I mean, the earnings aren't going to come out for another month, so I don't really know what this thing is doing. Well, once again, you're not paying attention to what we teach you in the class. The class, does not require that you listen to news. We don't care if you do or not, but there's absolutely no requirement to do that. And if you took our course, you would see that you would think that there's a buy setup somewhere around here. So once again, you would check your work, click on strategy number 4, signal arrow, and you're right. A buy setup was generated right there. Now, if you're still not sure about taking it, you want to have some added security, you click on the PET D, and you want that bar to be colored green since it's a buy setup. Guess what? It's colored green. Remember, we don't care what the prior bars before that are colored. It makes no difference. They're either going to be green or red, but we don't care. All we care about is the signal arrow bar. If that is a buy signal, then it should be colored green. Conversely, if it was a sell, it should be colored red. So as you can see, the stock went up nicely, okay? Now, you have so many choices for exits here. We give you so many variables. You're in charge. You could decide to stay in or not. But look what happened later on. Well, the trend changed and the colors started to change. And look at all the buy signals were generated. These were all valid strategy number 4 buy signals. 3, in fact. And in fact, all 3 were losers. Okay, they didn't work out. So even though you had a very nice trade on the first one, you had 3 in a row that didn't work out at all. Here's how the PET D increased your odds for consistency. Remember, in order to have a buy signal, that bar must be colored or outlined red. And green. And what color are they all outlined? They're all red. So that means you would not have taken any of those buy signals when you're using our dynamic duo method, and you would have stayed out of trouble. You only would have had 1 winning trade potentially and 3 losing trades that you never would have taken. This is the beauty of trading with a purpose. You see how these things can help you and how you can decide for yourself. Let's look at another example here in Yelp. We see here that we had 2 sell signals and they both worked out very nicely. Someone looking at this would say, well, Steve, this is a major bottom. You see, we had a bottom here and then this bottom was not confirmed by the volume, and it wasn't confirmed by some special indicator I used. So this is most likely some type of a setup to go long, and I think we're going to go all the way back up. But had you taken our strategy number 4 course, you would have said, well, you know what? I think there's a sell setup here, okay? And you click on the arrows to make sure that you're in line, and guess what? You were right. You're starting to learn the strategy. You use the arrows to educate yourself to see if you're right, almost like having an open book test. So you start to think, well, you know, it is a sell signal. These two work, but how do I know this one's going to work? In order to give you added confidence, you apply the PET D. And as you can see, it's confirmed. The signal was colored red, and the stock Yelp went down. Whoops, I kind of went too much forward there. Went down more. All right, let's look at PEP. I believe this is Pepsi. Now, someone looking at this would say, okay, we've been going up. We have a big gap up on news, Steve. All right, I like to follow news, but this went up way too high. I think I'm going to short this. In fact, it's overbought right now. We were kind of overbought here, but now we're really overbought, okay? Once again, how am I making my decision? That's not the what the market is doing. That's just some indicator, convoluted indicator. And if you see my presentations in the past, you know that there's no such thing as overbought or oversold, okay? So what is the market telling us? Well, it's actually giving us a buy signal. Now, if you still feel uncomfortable about that buy signal, you want to verify it, and it was confirmed by being colored green by the PET D. So if you wanted to, it's up to you. You don't have to take these. Remember, they're not systems. You can take, you know, there's multiple trades being generated every day. So if you decided to take it, well, you would have had a nice trade to the upside, as you can see. And all the bars remained green. Now, a lot of people have trouble with these. They said, but Steve, these are down days here, these darker green. That's okay. That means it's a down day in a short-term uptrend. Those are the days that you may want to look for buy setups. Every time we were down, but the bar was green, we quickly went back up. Let's look at letter G here. Once again, someone looking at this would say, well, Steve, we clearly made a bottom here, a double bottom. There was a divergence with the indicators, the overbought, oversold indicators, and I think we're going to go back and test these old highs, all right? Well, according to the rules of strategy 4, which you know about like the back of your hand already, there's actually a setup occurring right here. In fact, you had 2 setups. If you click on the signal arrow, you had 2 sell signals, okay? Now, just to make sure that this is going to work out, because for all you know, maybe it is going to reach those old highs. You want to add the second part of the dynamic duo. This is the part that confirms it, that gives you that added assurance that your consistency is going to be high. All you have to do is click on the PET D and make sure that these are both colored red. So we click on the PET D, and, well, before we click on the PET D, we see that this didn't work. Now we click on the PET D in hindsight, just to check us out. And now we see that that's the reason why they didn't work, because they were colored green. So the PET D was not confirming these sell signals. Therefore, you would never have taken them. So there's no loss. So that's the beauty of the PET D as well. It not only confirms and will get you in some nice winners at times, but it will also keep you out of some bad trades as well. If we look here in VLO, we see here that we had some really nice trades here to go to the upside, 3 consecutive winners, and then we had another buy signal, and look what happened, straight down. Could the PET D have helped us in filtering out these trades? Because after all, we had 3 winners and 1 loss, okay? Can we add our consistency? Can we increase it? Well, we had the PET D, and we see here that these were all confirmed because they were all colored green, and look here. This buy signal was not confirmed. Why? Because it was outlined red. So you most likely would not have taken that if you're following the dynamic duo course, and you just increased your consistency. You had 3 winners, and you didn't take that losing trade. Now guess what? If you missed that, don't worry, because there were always 3 sell signals being generated later on that you could have taken advantage of and made back, even if you had taken this trade, okay? So that's what consistency means. Even if you have a losing trade and you decide to take it, well, many times you're able to recoup it on the very next setup. Now, a lot of traders say, well, Steve, I'm more of an investor. I like to trade weekly, sometimes even monthly charts. Well, let me show you a weekly dynamic duo signal, okay? This was in Netflix. This was going back into this summer. As we can see here, we were in a nice uptrend. A lot of people were thinking that we were going to top out this summer and have a nice sell-off. And as you look here, you say, well, I don't know. I think there's a setup here. Click on strategy 4, click on signal arrow. The process is exactly the same. And guess what there was? In mid-April, a buy signal was generated in Netflix. Just to make sure that you have added consistency, you want to click on the PET D. And that you want to see that that bar is colored green. Well, once we click on the PET D, we see that every bar was colored green. So we have a very nice uptrend. And this is a high probability signal to go long Netflix. And as you can see, the stock went up 108 points going into August. Okay, you could have taken this trade and exited with a point gain, a point profit. You could have had maybe 20 points or gone for the full 108 points. It's up to you. Remember, we're not saying you would have captured 108. You had potentially the chance to capture 108. It's entirely up to you. You are in charge of your own trading, not us. We're just trying to show you things that have stood the test of time and then give you different options, different variables for entries, for exits, for stop placement. So when people ask me, they say, well, Steve, where's the stop? Well, it's up to you. We give you about 5 different places for stops. Or someone would say, well, Steve, where do I enter? Once again, it's up to you. You can take a standard entry. You can have a more conservative entry. You can have a more aggressive entry. It's up to you. Or someone would say, Steve, where do I exit? Well, we have about 3 or 4 different exit methods and techniques. So it's up to you which exit you want to take. Okay? So it's entirely up to you. You are in charge of your own trading. We're just showing you the direction you should be trading in order to trade with a purpose, in order to take responsibility for your actions and not have to blame someone else when you lose money. Okay, so let's recap here. Before we go into question and answer, I want to tell you about a great offer we have for you today. We want you to trade with a purpose. And if you think you're trading with a purpose, ask yourself this question. What is the main factor in determining your entries and what you trade? Is it because of some blog you read on a daily basis? Is it because of some trading guru you see on TV? Is it because of the earnings, what you think of the company, the direction the company is going? Is it because of the volume or what the institutions are doing? If you are following these things as your main source of motivation for entering trades, you're not trading with a purpose. The reason is because you're relying on someone or something else to make that decision for you. And then you're just basically, even though you think you're in charge, you're really not. What you want to do is look at a chart and come up with a clear-cut plan, all right? That's where strategy 4 comes into play. Because strategy 4 is based off of a specific pattern that all markets, all time frames, all directions make. So if this is the language of the market, then all you have to do is listen to the market speak, and we teach you what to look for. Now, once again, it's not a 100% foolproof strategy. You will have losses. I showed you a string of losses where, you had a couple of good winners and then maybe 3 or 4 losses in a row. So is there a way to filter out some of those losses? Not all of them, but some of them to add to your consistency. Yes, that's where you add the PET D. The PET D is a proprietary short-term trend identifier that we use in this method to simply confirm your choice, your decision. The way it works, if you get a buy signal, all you want is for that bar to be colored green. And then you have a high probability setup. If you get a sell signal, all you want is for that sell signal bar to be colored red. And you have a high probability sell signal. Doesn't matter if you trade the E-mini on tick charts the way I do. Doesn't matter if you trade Bitcoin. Doesn't matter if you trade weekly currency pair bars. It makes no difference. It can be applied to anything. And when you combine these two, strategy number 4, the consistency of a high probability method with the PET D as a filter for those setups, you get what we call our dynamic duo of success. This is a synergy for success because you really have increased your odds for consistency in the setup, okay? Now, the beauty of this is that we've made it so simple for you because it's all one click away on our PTS Primo charting platform. Now, we teach you exactly what you're doing. So you're not going to simply say, well, I don't really know what I'm buying or selling. I just click on and look for the arrows. No, you're going to learn in the course what the strategy is based on. You're going to learn exactly how to apply the PET D correctly. So you know exactly what you're doing. But once you have that information, once you have that format in place, it's all one click away. You don't have to figure out the way I did by having a pencil and paper and calculating everything. So, as we go into question and answer portion of the presentation, I'd like to ask you a question. Answer yourself honestly. Do you think these edges, strategy number 4, the PET D, the dynamic duo, the PTS Primo charting platform, do you think all these edges, just any one of them, could have helped your trading this past year. Okay, look at your trading. Are you anywhere near where you thought you'd be in January? Well, guess what? We have less than 3 months before 2019 and a new year begins. Are you anywhere near where you thought? Are you making that extra money each month to maybe take that green vacation or have that addition to your home or maybe have that extra income coming in? If you're not, you owe yourself to become a part of our courses, of our Dynamic Duo course and the PTS Primo charting platform. So here's what we're going to do for you today. Excuse me. We have a special offer for all the attendees to end the year out strong and to begin the new year very strong. We're going to offer you our Dynamic Duo special. This is strategy number 4, along with our Pet D tool. You're going to get instant online course access, detailed instruction, 20 videos, okay? You'll have all the access to all the different entries, all the different exits, all the different stop placements, all right? You'll have the automatic buy and sell arrows on your charting platform. You're going to get 4 Pet D trading techniques as well, all right? This is entirely different from what I share with you today. This includes both add-ons. In other words, you can completely change the color of your bars on your chart, and you will have the up and down arrows. Along with this, you get mentoring correspondence from yours truly, someone who's been applying this to his own trading for the last 41 years. So there's not a question I can't answer concerning anything with the Dynamic Duo special we're offering. But we're not going to just stop there. We're also going to throw in 12 months of our PTS Primo charting platform. 1 year's use of the platform. This is an amazing deal. Now, 1 year's use usually costs close to $1,900. I believe actually we've discounted it. It could be down to $1,700. Let's say $1,700, okay? But guess what? We're not going to charge you $19. We're not going to charge you $17. We're not going to charge you anything. We're going to throw in 12 months entirely free. You're going to get 12 months access entirely free with the Dynamic Duo course at your hands. Let me show you what's offered in this. Obviously, you're getting trading strategy number 4, 1 click away. You click on those arrows and you'll see where the up and down signals are. You're going to get the Pet D trend identifier. So all you have to do is simply click on Pet D. You'll see the colors automatically, instantaneously change from green to red. There's nothing you have to figure out. There's no formula you have to calculate. You're also going to get some proprietary exit levels. Now remember we talked about strategy, or I should say Facebook and strategy number 4, a signal that was identified. Let's talk about these proprietary exit levels. Let me show you how simple it is. In the course, we teach you how to construct these levels. It's a small, simple calculation, something you have to do by hand or with a handheld calculator. But it's something that you have to do and kind of write down and see where these levels are. Well, guess what? Once again, the platform takes that hard work out of it for you. Let me show you what I mean here. Here was that setup for strategy number 4 on Facebook, all right? If you chose to enter this trade, well, we had a Dynamic Duo setup because it was colored green. So let's say you decided to enter on an aggressive entry. You entered and you want to know where to exit. It's as simple as clicking on the up arrow and you'll see a menu appear, a drop-down menu, okay? Now, what you want to do is hit range extensions. Once you click on range extensions, these are the exits that give you the different levels of exiting. Let's say you had exited here where you had a nice profit, maybe a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. You exited here, you have a 2-to-1, a 3-to-1, and here you get the most bang for your buck. And this exit level actually missed the top by, I believe, about 30 cents, all right? You would have been able to exit here at 218.41 and had a profit of nearly 21 points. So do you see how we give you these different plans in which to enter, where to place your stop, and where to exit, and how you are trading with a purpose? Now remember, someone would say, well, Steve, how is this different? I'm just doing what you're telling me to do. No, we're not. There are many different ways to exit. This is just one. It's your choice. You are deciding. You know, I don't think when someone says there's a good news coming out on the economic front that they say, well, we have different options for ways for which you to trade this. No, I mean, you're easily going to decide, well, what does the economist say? Or what does this trading guru say? I'll just do what they do, all right? But we don't do that. That's not our philosophy. We simply provide you with the different variables and then let you decide. Whatever you feel comfortable with. Because remember, that's the only way you become a consistent trader. When you feel comfortable, that's when the consistency starts to roll in. And then you would not have had to play the victim attitude and say, gosh, you got me in here, man, look at, I lost everything. That's the last time I'm going to trade this. Well, remember, you had all these options to exit. It was your choice not to exit, not someone telling you to stay in this, okay? Now, that's just one of the features you get on the platform. You're also going to get over 90 technical indicators. You can experiment with other technical things. You're also going to get what I really use on a daily basis. That's our signal scanner. This is a great, great tool because we know that not everyone is in front of their computer all day, and many times you want to scan for these setups. Let me show you how simple it is. Once again, you click on Strategy 4, click on the scanner, and you'll get a drop-down window like this. All you have to do is click on Load Symbols. We provide you with different symbol lists. You can create your own, and it will automatically appear in about 2 seconds. The next thing you have to do is just hit Scan, and it automatically scans for Strategy 4 setups, okay? Now, as we see here, the green horizontal lines mean that's a buy signal in that corresponding stock. The red ones mean a sell signal. Now, let's say I had given this presentation last week and you decided to become a member of our Dynamic Duo Special. You would have had the ability to scan this, and if you had scanned a couple of nights ago, on the night of the 7th, you would have seen that there was actually a signal in PZZA. Okay, that's the symbol for Papa John's. Now, looking at this, you would have said, well, there's not really anything happening. We're kind of in a sideways range. You know, the chat room I used to go to says you should never trade this because this is where you get whipsawed. You wait for a breakout. That's the when you buy it, okay? Once again, this is the way 99.9% of traders trade. They rely on someone or something telling them how to trade. But had you scanned by knowing the rules to strategy number 4, all it's doing is scanning for setups using those same rules we've taught you so that you just don't have to look through 500 stocks if you don't want to. You would have seen that Papa John's generated a buy signal, strategy 4, on the 8th, okay, a couple of nights ago. Now, let's say you're still a little worried about it. You say, well, I'm not really sure. You know, I don't feel that confident because it looks as if the stock is going nowhere. Well, you would simply add the pet D. And guess what? All the bars have been green. So this is giving you the confidence. Even though it looks as if the price is going sideways, it's actually in a short-term uptrend. So 2 things that can add to your consistency. Had you taken that trade on the night of the 8th, guess what? You would have had a 5-point gain in 1 day. Okay, this was yesterday. Now, let's look at another setup that was generated that exact same night. This was in the spiders. That's the ETF that represents the S&P 500 index. The very same night, on the 8th of October, a buy signal was generated in the spiders, SPY. All right. Now, in this one, you say, well, I feel confident about this one because look at this. We've sold off, and I think we're going to bounce back all the way up. Well, it is a strategy 4 signal. And it does have a high level of consistency. But once again, not everything works all the time. You will have losses. Is there a way to filter out some of those losses? Well, we add the pet D. The pet D should have colored this bar green. When we add it, what color is the setup bar? It's outlined red. So if you're a member of the Dynamic Duo course and you decided not to take it, you would not have taken this trade because it didn't hold the highest level of consistency, and that would have been a good choice because we all know what has happened. This chart was taken about an hour before this display was taken about an hour before today's presentation. So in one instance, the pet D in Papa John's gave you the confidence to take the trade because the signal was confirmed. In another instance, on the exact same day, a buy signal was generated, but the pet D does not confirm it. And so you would not have taken the trade and you would have saved yourself some money. Now, as my mentors taught me, some of the best trades are the ones you never take because, you know, a penny saved is a penny earned at times in the marketplace. So you're going to get the signal scanner. Now, as you've noticed, I'm sure by now, we have a bias towards technical information. I am a technician. I mostly rely on technical information and patterns and market behavior. But we realize that not everyone trades this way, and that's okay. Remember, our goal is not to tell you how to trade. We don't believe in that. We're simply here to teach you. If you feel that you need fundamental information in order to make your decisions, and if that's part of your trading plan, we've offered you free Bloomberg TV. This comes included on the platform. We have a special icon that all you have to hit, and it brings up the media page. So once you click that on, you'll see our media page, live, up-to-date Bloomberg TV. So any news announcement, any economic announcement or earnings reports or some type of news that's coming out, you will have up to the minute, a reporting of it, and you can have this alongside any chart that you're looking at as well. And then lastly, this comes with personalized tech support. If you have any issues, any reason why something's not working, we'll be there in moments to resolve the issue for you. So this is the dynamic duo combo plus the 12 months of the PTS Primo charting platform. One of the best offers we can give you to end the year out strong and to start off 2019 in the right direction. Now, let me break down. If you purchased all of these separately, let me share with you what your cost would be. If you purchase strategy number 4 separately, it's going to cost you close to $700. If you purchase Pet D separately, that costs you close to $3,000. And if you had a year's worth of the PTS Primo charts, that would be $1,765. Okay? Now you add all those together and you're spending close to $5,500. That's a lot, especially at the end of the year. If you've not done so well, coming up with $5,500, close to $6,000, you want to make sure that it's going to work for you. Well, guess what? We're not going to charge you $5,500. We are going to slash the price by 45%. We're going to drop the price down to $29.95, which includes 12 months of the PTS Primo charts free. So actually, all you're going to be paying is for the Pet D. You're going to get strategy number 4 and a year's worth of the platform entirely free. Now, on top of that, we also have payment plans. So if you want to put down a small deposit, if you still don't want to come up with $29.95 right away, you can put down a small deposit and you can be up and running as soon as today if you'd like. So here's how to take advantage of this great offer, okay? Pro Trader Strategies, who I designed the platform with, handles all of the discounts, all of the pricing, all of the payment plans. I would most likely suggest that you call them up if you're interested for more information about the platform, for discounts, for setting up a payment plan. They have trading consultants manning the phones right now. They can answer any question or put together a plan for you. I would suggest calling them directly at area code 310-598-6677. Now, that link below will take you directly to more information on the Dynamic Duo discount, as well as signing up online. Now, that's not a live link. You'll have to copy and paste that onto your browser, but a live link has been posted in the GoToWebinar chat box. All you have to do is go to the chat box and click that on, and it will automatically take you to that page. So there's a lot of great free information. Please contact Pro Trader Strategies. I'm going to leave this up here. If you happen to have any questions, now is the time to ask them. Just go to your question and answer box and type in any questions. I'd be more than happy to answer them right now. A lot of people always ask, well, Steve, what if I want to use my own platform? Well, remember, you know, the platform we supply you with is an educational platform. Excuse me. A lot of people like to look at both. So you can toggle back and forth. Let's say you use TradeStation, or let's say you use Thinkorswim. Well, you can toggle back and forth from our platform and then see what the setup is and then go back and trade on the other one. So you can do that as well. Or if you want to use your old platform, you can do that. You can apply our add-ons onto Thinkorswim. You can use them with TradeStation. Some people are asking, what are the platforms? Okay, Metastock, MT4, Sierra Charts, NinjaTrader. You can use our add-ons, meaning the up and down arrows and coloring the bars green or red with any one of those platforms, okay? So if those are the questions you're asking, yes, you can use those. But in my opinion, our platform, which we designed specifically to make it simple, is what you want to go with. And after all, you're getting it for free anyway, so why not just use that to look to see where these up and down setups are? It's a great, great opportunity, okay? Other people are saying, does this work on futures? Yes, it does. In fact, I use a dynamic duo with my futures trade. I mainly trade or daily trade E-mini futures because of my schedule now. I like to trade whenever I have a free moment. I traded this morning, and now I like to know that I'm in and out of positions and I'm not holding anything when I'm giving webinars or teaching classes. So this is a great way to do this. If you like to trade intraday, the same exact things can be applied. We have some people that are asking, does it apply to currency pairs? Yes, it does. It works fantastic on currency pairs because the currency pairs trend better than anything I've ever seen. They're the best trending market, in my opinion. So many times you're going to see these all green bars or all red bars. And remember, we also throw in 4 different ways to trade with the Pet D that are completely different and set apart from what I shared with you today. Today was just a signal confirmation tool, but there's other ways in which to use it. In fact, there are dozens of ways to use the Pet D, and that's all taught in the Pet D course, which you'll be getting as well. So I can't think of a better way to take your trading to the next level. Remember, as we close here, if you're thinking about this past year and about how you weren't even close to where you wanted to be, don't worry. It's okay. The majority of traders experience this. You're not alone in this. That's all right. My first year or two trading, I was thinking the same things like, maybe I should be in this business. But once you learn to listen to the market, once things are in sync with the market, then your trading starts to become consistent. And we make it simple for you. So if you really want to get your trading in a consistent fashion, this is a great, great offer. And remember, don't worry, $29.95, even though you may not be able to come up with that lump sum, you can still be up and running in the platform and with our methods ASAP for a small deposit. Pro Trader Strategies will construct a payment plan for you. So give them a call. There's no obligation. You can find out exactly what you can do, and you can make your decision whether it's worth it for you or not. So there's absolutely no, obligation at all. They'd be more than happy to explain things to you. Okay. As we close here, I just want to say I hope you learned a little bit more. You saw our attention to detail and how our real motivation is just to teach you so that you can be in charge for the very first time. This is the way you would really, in my opinion, become a consistent trader. So I wish you the best of luck. I look forward to all of you trading and becoming consistent, but most especially I look forward to all of you taking advantage of this great offer and becoming a consistent trader through our dynamic duo course, along with the Pro Trader Strategies Primo charts. Thank you so much for attending today. I shall see you next time. Bye-bye.